Is the ceasefire already collapsing? Or is the world quietly moving towards a much bigger conflict? Because right now, the signals, they are not really calming, they are intensifying, layer by layer across multiple regions. Well, what was announced as a 2-week pause, it is now being tested by fresh developments on the ground, rising rhetoric, and strategic warning from the global powers. And guess what? At the center of this shift is a powerful statement from Moscow. Dmitry Medvedev, basically a very close ally of Vladimir Putin, he has described the Strait of Hormuz as Iran's real nuclear weapon. This is not just a metaphor though, it is a strategic message because the Strait of Hormuz, it is one of the most important oil routes in the world, carrying a significant portion of global energy supplies every single day. So if this narrow waterway it is disrupted or even blocked, well, the consequences will not remain limited to the Middle East. Global oil prices, it will spike instantly, supply chains could break, and major economies will feel the shock within hours. And this is exactly why this statement matters a lot. It suggests that Iran's leverage, it is not just military, it is economic, it is geography, and it is deeply tied to the global stability. Reports now indicate renewed concern about movement and security in and around the strait, raising a lot of fear that even the threat of disruption, it could be used as a pressure tactic in negotiations or in response to the external action. And yes, at the very same time, the situation on the ground, it is becoming increasingly unstable. Fresh blasts have been reported inside Iran, adding to the tensions have not truly cooled off. In fact, in Lebanon, military activity linked to operations under Benjamin Netanyahu, it continues, with strikes targeting positions that are associated with the ongoing security threat. These developments, they are raising serious question of whether the ceasefire it is truly respected or whether it exists only in the diplomatic statement. And this is where the larger geopolitical picture begins to take shape because Russia's role, while not directly on the battlefield, it is becoming visible through its messaging here. Analysts believe that Moscow could increase its involvement through indirect channels such as intelligence coordination, cyber support, diplomatic backing, specifically if tensions escalate further. Now, statements like Medvedev's, they are often seen as strategic signal, indicating alignment and readiness without immediate physical engagement here. And wait, ladies and gentlemen, in the meantime, the ceasefire announcement by Donald Trump, it is facing growing pressure. It was intended to create space for negotiations, right? Reduce immediate risk and stabilize the entire region after weeks of intense conflict. But the ongoing military action, conflicting claims, rising mistrust among the key players, that stability appears to be uncertain. Another critical layer to this situation is the economic impact though. Global markets are already reacting to the uncertainty. Oil traders are closely monitoring any sign of disruption in the Strait of Hormuz, while airlines, shipping companies, logistics network, they are adjusting routes just to avoid any potential risk. Even the possibility of escalation is enough to trigger ripple effects across industries. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we see right now, it is not a clear return to the war, but something far more complex. A fragile pause is there, combined with active military readiness, strong political messaging, and strategic positioning by major players. So in the end, the conflict, it has not disappeared. It has simply moved into a different phase.